Dr. Saab. I'm going to talk to you a bit about the state of fashion in the rising age of technology. As you know, the digital world is rising very fast and very rapidly. And fashion industries were unfortunately a bit slow to actually harness certain technologies that will actually benefit them in marketing and sales. But as we know, there's a little bit of hope at the end of the tunnel for fashion industries if they actually try to adapt to the rise in technology. Especially that the report of 2018 of Business of Fashion has reported the rise in sales that is going to be triple maybe in the coming year, which is a good thing. The current status of the fashion industry, I think, should be divided into two parts. The first part is the developed markets, the already existing brands. And the second part is the emerging markets, the markets that are now starting up. So the existing markets are struggling because they are not adapting to the technology and they are not adapting to the new ways of marketing and offering the consumers that are now mobile users. Emerging markets, on the other hand, are developing and are gaining more and more attention and are not striving as much as the developed markets. So the emerging markets are startup companies that has already been developed and integrated into the technology and ecosystem. The big news is that Asia is now one of the biggest digital monsters in the world. I'm calling it a monster because it's eating up maybe more than half of the economical growth in the world because of its digital startup companies, especially in the fashion industry. So there are maybe more than 40% of apparel sales, and it is expected to reach 1.4 billion by 2020. This is huge because it will present a big load of competition for the other countries. So Asia is now one of the biggest challenges. So the main challenges is Asia, the competition of the online fashion channels, as well as the digitization and technology in the fashion industry. But the main challenge is our stores in our countries. The retail industry is suffering. Most of the stores now are closing. There are many reasons why these stores are closing. There are many reasons why these stores are closing in the country and outside the country. Today, we live in a world where the population is almost 7.5 billion, and more than half of this population is what? Mobile users. Does anyone here not have a mobile phone? Does anyone here not have an app on his phone? I don't think so. So this is a very important step in the fashion industry to be able to acknowledge the fact that we live in such a world. 900 million people have global platforms and are connected to global platforms. In the coming year, almost 40% of these devices that you have now in your pockets or in your bags will be interconnected and connected to other devices, machine to machine. Okay, so this is a good step in technology, but the third world hasn't adopted this yet. By third world, I mean us. This technology that is going to be very powerful in 2019 is going to connect the machine to machine and is going to enable fashion industries and fashion businesses to actually start up their companies using this technology, which will enhance their sales. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we are all mobile users and we spend most of our time on our phones and tablets. We lost connection with the outside world. We lost connection with other human beings. But that's the way it is. And some people may say that, no, I'm not going to use my phone today. And then again, it's just an addiction like any other. But if you don't use your phone, you'll stay behind. If you don't adapt to the new technology, you'll stay behind. Even though this is a big monster, it's a good and a bad monster. So digitizing the world of fashion is a good thing for sales. But then again, there are advantages and disadvantages to this movement. Mobile-driven people spend approximately 6 hours per week searching for fashion garments, luxury brands, and others. So basically, if you spend 6 hours a week searching, but if you are a fashionista, or if you are a person that is interested in a certain brand, you're going to spend much more than 6 hours on your mobile or your tablet. So basically, these hours spent is a hint about the shift in consumers. The interest of consumers in this industry has shifted. Okay, so soon people will just use their phones to actually buy something online, like we all do now. But now soon, because we are interconnected into social platforms of all forms, mainly Instagram now, you're going to have to just pay on Instagram and buy your product on Instagram, which is soon to be adopted, maybe starting in the US and in Asia, not yet in Lebanon. The new consumer is a mobile-driven consumer, as said, and they're called the millennials. The millennials grew up in a world where technology was already there, the internet was already there. I wasn't really born into that era. I adapted to that era. Come in. So they take their time into making choices of what to buy on their mobile tablets, and they're interconnected to all the platforms out there. So this mobile-driven millennials, called the Generation Y, are now being offered everything on their tablets and on their phones. So there's an abundance of products that's being offered to them, and they don't really have to look much physically and go search for something that they want. They will just find it, and they will find a lot of it. So they're going to be lost in choice, and they're going to have difficulty making decisions. This is the new consumers. So now they're bored of what they have. They have everything, and they need to search for new ways. They need to search for new interests. These new niches are the new consumers. They are interested in something that is different from what is being offered. So they try to sail away from fast fashion, and fashion industries have realized this, and they're going to take that into consideration when they are going to market their product. And they're going to stress on personalizing customer experience to the extent of actually customizing products to customers. This is what the consumer wants. This is the millennials. This is Generation Y. We are a mobile-driven community. So we have to offer the consumer what they want. They want a personalized experience. They want to be different. They want to be scarce, and they want to be recognized. So basically, offering them a personalized experience or a customized bag or a shoe with a tag on it is being different than the fast fashion giants. Personalization is the future of marketing and digital marketing in the fashion industries. It has started in Paris, it has started in the US, and now it's going to be imitated in Asia. This is a strategy that is going to be used in luxury brands, and then soon to be used in other brands like Inditex and what have you. By Inditex, I mean Zara, TOPSHOP, H&M, and what have you, all those brands. So now luxury businesses are trying to do this personalization and customization of their product, but not yet Inditex brand, soon to be used. This generation, the millennials, are now trying to see new interests. And this new interest now is sustainability. It's what's attracting their attention, because it's what makes them different from the rest of the products that are out there. So the consumer is now interested with everything that is sustainable. It's a major source of differentiation for buying products, for actually being loyal to a certain brand that is sustainable and encourages eco-fashion and sustainability. Which brings us to the new technologies that are now being in the works. The technology of actually trying to differentiate themselves in the fashion industry itself and the textile industry, trying to create textile from food crops, food waste, along with textile fibers which is a company called Circular Systems. They're trying to combine these two together to create Textile. This is a great start to actually try to go along with the technology, use the technology for their own good and for the good of the planet. Because technology in the end is still a beast. So this system is called Circular System, and it combines the food crops, the food waste, with textile waste to create fibers that stick together and produce good textiles to sell in fashion industries as well as in textile shops. These these eco-friendly textiles are being now in the works in the US as well as in specific farms in Texas and what have you. So basically, it's a system that is not yet it's still in the works, but it's going to be launched maybe in end of 2018 or end of 2019. The advantages of personalizing the experience is very good for the online sales, for the fashion industries, but it's a bad thing for the retail stores that have closed, that we talked about earlier. The advantage is that personalizing the experience online is easier to reach the consumer, whereas personalizing the experience in the store is not easy because the store is already there. The brick and mortar stores are already there set, so they are not equipped with such technology. They have been there forever, like big department stores that are closing now, Macy's, Sears, and other big department stores or small stores. So around 7,000 stores have closed in the US this past year, which led to a movement in the fashion industries that woke them up and told them, no, we have to try to see what we can do with this technology. We have to walk through, we have to adapt, or else we're going to close our stores. Nobody is going to physically walk into the store anymore and buy something. Everybody is just on their tablets. Why? Because of the fast rhythm of life. You can't change it, you have to adapt to it. So it's time to reinvent the retail store experience. So the latest technologies that are used now in the fashion industries are startup companies that actually start with the technology integrated systems. For example, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is slow to be harnessed by the fashion industries because they don't trust it yet. So there are a lot of fashion industries, family enterprises, big high-end brands that are like Chanel, Goyard, Dior, very old ones, that had difficulty trusting the technology because they were very emotional about letting go of their mission and vision at the beginning. But they had to adapt to this fast rhythm, they had to adapt to this new technology, especially artificial intelligence, which can improve the speed, the cost, and the flexibility, as well as help them plan ahead in forecasting users and forecasting marketing plans and what have you. So by 2020, this machine-to-machine learning application systems is going to reach around 30 billion by 2020. So machine-to-machine learning is now being fed. Here, it's being fed. In the States, it's being fed, and it's going to be integrated in educational institutes as well as in schools. Maybe some schools it has already started. Artificial intelligence is also used in terms of browsing and platform. It makes your experience much easier and personalized. Basically, these big giants like Amazon, Alibaba, and Zalando use these browsing techniques, these artificial intelligence integrated technologies in their websites, in their apps, to actually make this experience much easier for this consumer so that he can keep coming back. One of these interesting technologies in artificial intelligence is called LOOMIA. Is anyone familiar with LOOMIA? LOOMIA is a smart fabric system that is integrated inside your garments or your products. So the reason why LOOMIA has created this smart fabric system is to give this fashion industry some information about the user, to track them down exactly. Not like an investigation, but to actually track them down for the good to get certain information about the user and the garment exactly. So basically, LOOMIA gives you feedback about how many times does the customer wear the jacket, what's the weather out there, how many times does he wash it. So basically all this information goes back to the industry, to the business, which gives them insight on how to contact this consumer and how to lure him in and keep him as a loyal customer, because they're creating this kind of personal connection with the customer. So LOOMIA has the ability to get a user feedback, but nothing is for free. So they integrate this smart system into their products, like you see right there, okay? And LOOMIA has also created a cryptocurrency token. So when the user actually registers in the app and scans through the smart system on the products or on the garments, they send information to the business, right? So when the user is sending information to the business, he gets tokens, because he doesn't really have to do that, right? So he gets tokens, and from those tokens, he can actually purchase from the app, LOOMIA. So it's like a give and take thing between the customer and the fashion industries, giving them insight about the customer's needs. So this system is also new because it has to teach the production houses and the seamstresses of how to integrate this smart system into the textile and apparel industry. Furthermore, in artificial intelligence, I don't know if you've heard about the Google Lens. Okay, Google Lens is an eye, but it's not really a human eye. It's just an eye that tries to identify outfits around, or maybe jewelry, not as jewelry. Exactly. And that it gives you an insight about what the product is, where can you get it from, or maybe you can get a similar product. But still, the Google Lens is still a small baby because it's not a human eye. So here in this ad, you can see that Kate Moss here has a black shirt that looks asymmetrical, but she still has it tucked under her pants. So the Google Lens literally read it and gave us this. So it's still not yet as powerful as the human eye. It's good, but not as powerful. There's another application called GOFIND that is competing with this Google Lens. And this application lets you scan any outfit that you can see around you, any celebrity that you see around that can help you find similar outfit or similar look, or maybe get you the brand itself. So basically, it's a win-win situation for you and for the brands that are out there inside this system, because this system will go searching for similar garments that will tell you, go buy your Calvin Klein, go buy this brand. So basically, it is a system that gathers a hub of brands that exist on this platform, on this application. Have you heard of Amazon Go? Yes? Okay, so Amazon Go is also artificial intelligence integrated system, the first store to have no human interaction whatsoever. The first opening day of this store was the opposite of what this store is all about, because it was queuing until the end of 2-3 blocks of people trying to get in the store, because it's a store without any physical presence, which was a bit odd because it was not supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be fast. You just go, grab your things, scan them, and tap your phone at the end and just leave. But it was not like that. It was very crowded, and people took a very long time queuing to actually get out, whereas the application itself, the integrated technology itself, is actually to avoid such a queue and to avoid this crowd. But it was the first opening day. We'll see what happens later. The augmented reality is also, AR, is also another technology that is going in parallel with artificial intelligence. So augmented reality is now almost on every phone and every mobile user, not yet in Lebanon, unfortunately. Almost 300 million phones worldwide, and this is expected to reach 1 billion by the end of 2018. This is a huge number in augmented reality. What's going to happen to the brick and mortar stores? What's going to happen to the people that actually would like to walk in the store, buy something and try it on. Maybe they don't have time. Maybe they don't belong to this millennial generation. Maybe they don't belong to the mobile user generation. But they should have someone to take care of them because they are the underserved. What is augmented reality going to do for them? We'll see. So this technology, augmented reality, started booming when it started to offer virtual makeovers for makeup brands like L'Oréal and Sephora, where people actually had facial recognition, where they can actually try on different kinds of makeup, colors, and what have you, and buy the makeup online, which is very difficult because ladies, you know very well that it's very difficult to buy makeup online unless you've tried it before, especially when it comes to lipsticks and shades. The industry of the beauty industry is booming much further than the apparel industry, especially in 2017 and 2018, because of the rise of the apps that were created on the phones in Asia to target these beauty brands that are rising. So it was almost 200 million users have downloaded L'Oréal, which has promoted a huge percentage in their sales, as well as Sephora. So, which brings us also to the virtual dressing rooms, which allows us to actually try on clothes. No, I'm okay. To try on clothes without actually physically going into the fitting room and trying them on. Who likes to try on clothes in fitting rooms? Please say yes if there's someone that actually likes to. I know that. Okay. So some people are familiar with certain brands and they know their size, so they don't really need to go into the store and buy them. And those people do exist, and many of them exist in the United States, which is something that is, for them, it goes without saying to actually tap into an app and buy something online because they can still return it. But personalizing experiences can actually lower this return rate and refund rate. Trying things on virtually before buying can actually help the customer in actually seeing how this piece looks on their own body or maybe their own face if it's an accessory or jewelry, let's say. The preferences that are suggested in augmented reality fitting rooms are various. Each store can have their own feature when they are offering this virtual dressing room, especially when it comes to high-end luxury stores or Inditex kind of brands. So artificial intelligence and AR mirrors, AI and AR mirrors, have come together to create a voice-activated mirror that is now being tested. I don't know if you've heard about it, the mirror that is being tested in H&M, in the New York flagship store. H&M, it's a store that is super crowded where no one actually listens to you if you want to ask them a question. Can you have this in that size? Nobody answers. And even if they know the answer, they just don't answer because it is a fast fashion store. So basically, H&M tested voice-activated mirrors. It's very important to know the importance of this mirror that is equipped with a memory. It actually it collects data of what the customer needs and what the customer wants. So they have like a certain general overview of what to buy and how many pieces to get in each season. So basically, they will not end up with a lot of inventory at the end of the month or at the end of the year. They are trying to get exactly what the customer needs. And to sweeten the pot a bit, to make the customer want to actually get into the app and try on this the interactive mirror, they just have to log in their camera's lens and get this 20% token and this beautiful selfie that looks like a fashion magazine, and it will do the trick, hopefully. So this mirror also is equipped with a digital shopping assistant. I'm sure that many of us like to go with friends, or maybe the millennials like to go with a group of friends, one or two, to the store and try on things and get an opinion. Nowadays, me, myself, and everybody else, I think, if I go to a store and I don't have my mother with me or my sister with me, I just go to WhatsApp, take a picture, and send it to them. So basically, this mirror has a person that is not your family and not your friend that will give you an opinion about your choice of what to choose. This virtual mirror will let you tap different items in the store. Just click on this mirror, and anything you want to try on, the staff that is in the store will actually take these clothes and put them in a dressing room for you with a drink or food. So basically, you don't really have to carry things and don't have to look for your size anymore. It's faster than fast. You just have to click, and everything's going to be collected in the fitting room for you. Inside the fitting room, there's also another mirror that is there to help you change the size, change the color or the style, and maybe advise you of what is in trend out there. So it's very important because this system is collecting data. Data is the new currency for fashion industries, okay? Data is what's going to drive the consumer because everything is offered. We need to be different, we need to digitize, we need to make sure that we are meeting customer needs, okay, especially in a high-rising technological era. So another system also is featured inside these stores are shopping walls. These shopping walls are videos that show you collections and looks. You can also tap your finger on those shopping walls and choose the garment that you like, also going back to the fitting room. Well, instead of actually going through one mirror, because maybe there's not only one mirror in the store, maybe there are 2 mirrors, but still 2 mirrors are not enough for people that go into H&M and Zara, okay, because there's always a queue for the mirror. So what happens now is that the app that you have on your phone can allow you as well to try on virtually the clothes. So you don't really have to stand in front of the mirror to try something. You can go on your phone, try something, tap it, and go to the fitting room. So they actually solved this problem that was a big question 6 months ago. This is another example in TOPSHOP. They call it the magic mirror. So you stand and you swap, and you change clothing and styles. Brick and mortar. You can have this technology in your online app. You can have this technology online, but you can also have this technology inside the store to keep the people coming into the store, so you don't have to close the store. So you offer them a different experience. The first experience is the online experience on the app. The second experience is the personal experience that they go through into the store with the artificial intelligence and augmented reality, creating this curiosity for the new consumer, mobile-driven community. Another one here you can see where you can actually try on sunglasses in the virtual try-on app on your phone. So you don't really have to go into the store to try on those glasses, which is also something that is being integrated as artificial intelligence into all apparel and accessory industries. Especially the accessories, meaning bags and shoes, hopefully soon. I think Gucci is doing something of the sort, and Adidas, but not yet soon, so I cannot talk about it because it's still in the works. So if you want to sum it up, you have 3 high-tech shopping experiences. One is the app where shoppers check into the store. The second one is the shopping wall where things, pass through and you check and you send your clothes to the fitting room. And the third one is the mirror that gives you advice about what different styles to wear. Also, which is kind of funny, this application, also artificial intelligence integrated into your smart phones. It actually can scan any color or any pattern that you might see around you, anything, and gets you the same exact pattern or color in a garment or maybe furniture. So this is an app also that's integrated as artificial intelligence into your phones. It's called Snap Color Pop app. The second one is Panasonic, also doing these mirrors in different stores and gaining more customer data as they can, promoting visual facial recognition in the mirrors by actually giving them different looks of their own face with different kinds of hair and colors and what have you. Also, I don't know about that, but it's a robotic shopping assistant. I don't know if we would like to rely on a robotic shopping assistant. It's the same assistant that will be inside the activated, the interactive mirror, but it's a robot that moves around with you in the store and helps you choose your clothing. This is as far as I can go for here. Third, but this is one of the most important ones in the technology that is going to boost the fashion industry and take it by storm. It's the blockchain. The blockchain is a smart system, chip that is integrated into the garment to verify the originality of the garment and gives you information of where it was taken from. This originality is very important for high-end luxury brands because it can prevent counterfeit, imitation, and theft. So if they come into luxury brand stores in Paris, for example, and steal a crocodile bag, which happens and happened, the chip can tell you where the bag is. But maybe the customer or the person that actually stole the bag or bought the bag doesn't know that the chip exists. So this is in terms of blockchain. This is how you scan through the QR code and get the information and the originality of the garments. DEBEERS, one of the leading diamond producers, also using blockchain to control how the diamond moves from hand to hand. Why? Because they want to prevent and clear the supply chain from imposters of actually giving you the diamonds that are not the real diamonds. So this blockchain is actually helping the jewelry industry and is going to actually be the only technology that is going to allow us to clear the chain from all those imposters. Contactless shopping, again, one of the biggest store in the world, the biggest Zara store in the world, is now AI-based with the technology integrated, and it has the contactless shopping experience inside the store with all the mirrors and tapping the phone when you want to pay without waiting in the queue and without passing through cash registers or physical assistance. Again, as well, REBBECA MINKOFF in New York is also using this artificial intelligence integrated technology inside their stores, and the sales have grown further, especially that the latest collection of REBBECA MINKOFF did not have an overload of inventory at the end of last year, which is great. The touch and go contactless shopping is something that is going to be used all over the world, and maybe soon with Instagram or Facebook. It's very difficult to integrate the tap and go with Instagram and Facebook, but they're going to reach that stage very, very soon. So mobile apps, if you are a fashion industry and you don't have a mobile app, you almost don't exist. So if you have a mobile app and it's not friendly and the user did not enjoy the experience inside the mobile app, they will delete your app. So it's very important to have a good experience in the app. The last, almost, is facial recognition inside high-end stores that will actually help salespeople, that help celebrities and what have you, have all the information they need about the customer when they enter the store. High-end stores, because not a lot of people go there, so there are only 1 or 2 or 3 per hour, let's say. So basically, it's important to have this feature inside the store to get all the information they need about the customer that enters the store. The last thing is 3D printing. I think everybody knows that. And the end is innovate or die. If you don't innovate as a fashion industry, as a fashion startup that is not integrated into fashion technology and artificial intelligence, you will not be able to adapt and go into the mainstream. Thank you.